Gimble, come feel there. Rock a bandana like Tupac, I've been there. Rock a do-rag or wave cab, I lay my shit.
Yo, what's going on, Gooners, Goonerettes? Welcome to Arsenal versus Fulham preview. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button on the video. Seeing you guys have seen the new intro, the new logo. We're going to be turning that into something special in the next couple of months. But my daughter made the logo and the opening. Of course, you guys know my son, Casey. He does the vocals for this video. So shout out to my kids. Big up to both of them. So guys, on to the game. Arsenal are now 11 wins and 2 draws in the last 13 London derby games. I mean, it's becoming difficult to even see any of the London teams beating Arsenal these days with such a record. And we know that Tomiyasu's red card would not help matters. I'm surprised that they didn't actually go against that and complain to the FA and try and get it overturned. They've just got on with it. Because, you know, it means they've got a Zinchenko back. And although Zinchenko's now being 100% fit, it's something we could have done without. Because say if Zinchenko has a reoccurring injury now, then we're going to be up against it. But anyway, on to the good news. Eddie, he scored 13 goals in his last 14 starts at the Emirates Stadium. And for Arsenal, so that's fantastic, really. Arsenal now 2 wins out of 2, and it's just the start that they needed. They're sitting behind Manchester City and Brighton at the top of the table. And soon, if Brighton fall off, it's going to be a 2-horse race. And we're not even a month old into the season. Some good news coming out of the training camp, as I predicted on Monday at the Back 5 podcast when I told you guys Jesus would be coming back into training on Thursday. He exactly did that. So they gave him a quick medical, which he's passed, and he's entered light training now. So they're looking to cover him over the next 48, 72 hours to see how he sort of moves and if there's any swelling. And if that's okay, then he'll probably join full training on Sunday or Monday. Now, for the Gunners, guys, they're looking to offload some players. We're hearing Sambi Lokonga and Brighton are in heavy conversations now. So we're looking forward to Brighton putting a bid on Sambi Lokonga. But the good news is Arsenal look like they've accepted a 45 million offer from Monaco, and the personal terms are now in deep conversation. So look forward to that maybe happening in the next 24, 48 hours. Balogun to Monaco. So for Arsenal now, back to the game. Now the key to Saturday will be mentally understanding that Arsenal's struggle to keep clean sheets at home at the Emirates. And the Gunners have just 1 clean sheet from their last 8 Premier League games at the Emirates Stadium, which is awful considering that towards the end of last season you was going for the title. And it was one of the big reasons why, you know, from the Bournemouth game, the Southampton game, is one of the reasons why they just capitulated. You'd expect with everything in terms of the home support that they would have been able to get over that, but they just folded at home. Now, I don't think they have to worry too much in this game because Mitrovic was Fulham's biggest threat. And he's joined the Saudi Pro League Al Khaled, who seems to be buying up everybody now. It's reportedly 50 million, which is a record for Fulham. They've never sold a player that expensive before. Now, of course, it means Jimenez, who played for Wolves, he's a decent striker, but he's by no means Mitrovic. They're not going to get 14 goals a season out of Jimenez. And not just that, but they're missing that big dominating body from Mitrovic as well. So I think that selling him was, you know, they're going to be relegation fodder now. I think that selling him was a big mistake, and Fulham are looking at being relegation fodder now. For Fulham, they also have defensive suspensions to deal with, so they're not in a good place at the moment. Ream was red carded after receiving 2 cautions in the loss to Brentford last week, meaning Calvin Bassey will start alongside Diop. For Arsenal, their striker's a little bit up and down. Gabriel Jesus, as I said, he's just got back into training, whereas Balogun, as I said, is just agreeing personal terms with Monaco. But Zinchenko, now back to full fitness, coming off the bench against Palace. He replaced Tomiyasu on the left-hand side. Pelina for Fulham, he came back from a shoulder injury, and Declan Rice will have his work cut out for him to keep him at bay. But we're also looking to see Armand Traore now make his full Premier League debut for Fulham after a brief spot coming off the bench last week. So for me, what I'm looking at now, Arsenal-wise, my possible team's going to be Ramsdale in goal, Ben White at right back, Saliba, Gabriel. Yeah, no Thomas Partey for me this week, guys. Shinchenko at left back, and then we're going to have Odegaard, Rice, and Havertz in the midfield, and then we're going to have Saka on the right, Martinelli on the left, and Nketiah up front as a striker. So I think we're going to try and go back into last year's formation and see how Rice can handle the single pivot. He was in there for large portions of last week's game, and I think that now they're kind of ready to unleash him in that role, in that Thomas Partey role, which means that Partey will probably start from the bench. There's so much they wanted to do with Yuri and Timber that just hasn't worked out right now, and fans have been frustrated with Arsenal's new system in the opening few weeks. But you can't have it both ways, guys. You can't complain that Arsenal don't have a plan B and they only know how to play one way and they can't switch it, and then make noise about us learning how to play in a variety ways. Of course there will be a learning curve. But after seeing Declan Rice against Palace and Havertz winning 16 duels in his opening 2 games, the Gunners should have no trouble surpassing what Fulham are going to be bringing this week Saturday. So for me, guys, I'm going for an Arsenal 3-0 home win, and I'm looking for, obviously, your guy Nketiah, who's got so many goals at Emirates Stadium. Scoring again this weekend will make it his 2nd of the season, even though he had a big part to play in the penalty that Odegaard hit last week. But I'm looking for him to get on the field. And also, the one thing we have to say is Martinelli and Saka, last week, they both didn't have a good game. So look for the wingers to come in and terrorise that injury-prone Fulham back 4 line. And the Martinelli and Saka also getting on the score sheet as well. So guys, let me know what you think about the preview. What do you think the score is going to be? And I'll speak to you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.
I'm tryna be a black king, yeah. I'm tryna be a black king, yeah. MLK, Jay-Z, MJ. I'm tryna be a black king.